What's up, guys? How you doing? So, just giving it a little moment. It's not 8 o'clock yet, so we're not starting. And even though I think I did it wrong, I think I put the wrong time on this on a post, but it's cool. It's good. If it's for you, you shall see it either live or um later on. Well, hello there, Dr. Whitney. How are you today?
Good evening. Good evening. I'm doing well.
I love the Nicholas piece there, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's see. We can go back around now. Supported in the studio. Okay, dokie. Hey, we haven't ramped up yet, so but we're live or just bantering.
Yeah.
But don't hang up when I stop because I'm
Okay.
trying to test something out. It's a new feature in the thing or whatever it's called.
Okay.
Um, how's your day? Night.
I had some reorganization of things this morning, but you get wrenches thrown into the gears. You just pull it out and restructure the gears and keep going.
Mm, man, so that means you can fix a car, huh? You need to come fix my gears. I had a whole bunch of wrenches thrown in my gears this morning. Oh my goodness.
I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
just texted my wife and said, "Man, I need to pull the hair out of my head that I don't have."
Oh, mercy.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, it's bad. Um, I just came across a post here, and it's just random. Why more black women should consider marrying white men?
What was the biggest takeaway? What was their primary reason?
Cause black men don't graduate or go to college.
I can't roll my eyes hard enough at that foolishness.
Oh man.
Now,
And this was posted last year of April, so it's fresh. It's yeah. Oh boy, I tell you.
if I would have heard that the reason was something more substantive, I might have given a little bit of consideration, but that's just nonsense. That's
It's
having a degree does not make you a good person or not. That's just
I, I didn't even continue reading it. You have that little link for continue reading. I didn't even open up the full passage. Cause they using Kamala Harris as a an example, and the other political woman has a white husband, and I just did a thing on TikTok, and I'm like, cool. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but cause it's each his own. You should love who you want to love, and but for you to tell me, because I didn't graduate, actually when I got my GED, I went to college. Actually, I did just graduate from college here recently. Dang. Oops. It was last year, I think. But it wasn't because I wanted somebody to marry me. It's just something I wanted to do, you know. So
that is feeding into the overimposed stereotype of successful black women that you can't find your equal in a black man because he doesn't have a degree, so you need to go ahead and date white people because they get that's nonsense. That stereotype is nonsense too. So anything that is used to bolster its foolishness must in itself also be foolishness.
I can see that. I can definitely see that being the reason why. Uh, because for some odd reason, the other side feels that we, you know what? I'm not even gonna say the other side.
I was wondering what you meant by that. I was
I'm not even
waiting
gonna
for
say
a
the
little
other
bit
side.
more
I'm just gonna
context
go
to be
straight to the
sure.
black men. I'm just gonna go straight to the black men. A lot of black
Okay.
men are just scared, terrified of, and maybe I can somewhat bring the other side in. Other side of my hand.
Understand? Yes. I got
Yeah,
you.
that they've established a a false pretense of, and I'm not in women, or if you're watching this, I'm not taking anything away from you because I believe that it should empower you to um, accomplish something in your lifetime. So I'm not taking that away from you, but the other side has established for the black man that if she is established, if she has gone out and fulfilled her dreams, you can't handle her.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And I want to say, I think that's only because they want her.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And if I can add what would be a triangle, side number three, that idea also goes to where black men are, nope, where particularly in situations where a black woman has achieved academic success, financial resources, financial freedom, all of those types of things. If she has those things,
Hmm.
then something like this is geared to tell her that there's no black man good enough for you,
Right.
that you have all of these things and you're better than any guy who's making less money than you. So if now black men don't get degrees, he's not going to be able to financially make what she's making. And notice I was specific not to call it he's not able to compete with her. He feels like that's a competition more than she feels like it is, but it's still a worth determination metrics. And she is being deceived that there's no black man good enough for her if she's attained these, these different accolades and different successes in life. I
Right.
think it's all cultivated. It's all deliberate. It's all deliberate. It's all a part of the idea that
It is on
men
purpose.
and women fighting each other
Yep.
when there's no need to.
Yeah, and us black men are just falling forward, just sitting down and just allowing it to happen. And it's ridiculous because, true enough, me and my wife, and we're gonna go ahead and get into the conversation, guys, after this. We compete, um, but it's healthy.
Yes.
It's nothing vindictive or and I just read a post on TikTok where I'm probably my wife's biggest fan, and I'm happy that she's going out to be a nurse practitioner, and that is going to put her in a category and title above me. But in her eyes, I'm not no less than the man that she married before she's getting that title. So I, as men, we have to stop looking at the surface, the outside, and not going in depth and what it is to be married to the right person.
Exactly.
And a lot
100%.
of us run from black women because of their success, not understanding that their success just may open doors for the nurture that we need for us to be successful ourselves.
I absolutely agree with that. There is a counter side to that, but for the point that you're making, I absolutely agree with it. I absolutely agree with it.
All right, so guys, just to introduce the title here, we are talking about the lies about single black mothers. And if you didn't know that there's some lies out there, I don't know what rock you're sleeping up under, um, what bridge you decide to find yourself caught near. Yeah, I think it's been happening for years now, but we're going to tackle that because I know you've heard the statistics on how black single mothers are partially ruining their kids' lives. So we just basically just stop tap dancing around the conversation and let's have it, So after this intro, that's exactly what me and Dr. Whitney's going to do. Have this conversation tonight, okay? I know you're tired of me, but you're gonna forever be my Dr. Whitney. So, Dr. Whitney, I need you to let the audience know exactly who you are, ma'am.
Okay. I am Evelyn Whitney, author of the book Truth Speak: Some Real Reasons That Men and Women Don't Communicate. I specialize in communication and the practices that enable people to overcome communicative impasses, particularly those that occur more frequently between men and women. And as much as I appreciate the term of endearment, I am not officially a doctor, though it does mean a lot that I am regarded as well and frequently welcomed back to this platform as I have been. Thank you so much for having me, as always.
No problem. No problem. No problem. So, guys, like I stated, the title we're going to be talking about the lies about single black mothers. So I start off the question, Dr. Whitney, with why are single colored moms targeted? Your opinion.
One of the reasons I believe that single, particularly single black mothers or single mothers of African American descent are targeted is that it is an outreach or a concentration on the systemic attacks that racism has enabled throughout the entire community. It's not
Mhm.
just single black mothers who are targeted, it's also black men who are targeted and projected as criminals, but they haven't really done anything. It's also black youth that are targeted. And all of these different target matrix have various manifestations throughout all society. And this is just one of the particular caveats that we're talking about, those things that deal specifically with single black mothers.
Okay. Um, I can see that, and I can see how all of that is like in the melting pot. Um, the main reason why I decided to separate her from everyone else is I know you said you didn't have TikTok.
I do not. No,
You have Instagram, right?
I do.
You have YouTube,
Yes.
and you have ears. So out in the world, it
Yes.
and we're talking about that battle between the black male and female, and for some reason, how society from day one, and I mean day one, has pent them against each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's a stereotype pretty much going on that a black mother is unfit. Then, if she is fit, she then become overly qualified in so many ways. Kind of like where we are just talking about. If she goes out and she gets her degrees, she goes out and she gets her healing done from
Mm-hmm.
her traumatic past and whatnot, and she becomes independent and in a sort of not in a sense of not needing a man, but independent to where she has her own.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's looked down upon.
That's right.
Something's weird about her.
Mm-hmm.
She's not fitting the status quo. But going back to that other hand, if she is not doing that, if you're seeing her in the club, if you're seeing her with five, six, seven baby kids, if you're seeing her um, carouseling men in the house and stuff. Sorry to say it like that, but she's looked down upon. You she's unfit.
Mm-hmm.
She's a menace to society in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I came across this post on which I'm starting to come across a lot of these crazy posts on the web, where there's a passage, City Journal website, right, which speaks on the dangers single color moms pose to the basic um, socializing unit of the family. Now, you know how the other side loves facts, and facts are like, I'm facts for me are lies.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering if you were being sarcastic. Absolutely. Absolutely, because you look at, history books are facts to them, but they include so much actual truth content. I absolutely, yeah, I was wondering.
I've had this talk with my brother several times where facts, he's very debatable, and he loves a debate, and so we've been taught that if it's in a book,
Exactly.
it is true.
Hmm.
And like I try to tell the kids that for those that who don't know, the sky is not blue; it's black. It is only blue due to the fact that the sun is rising
Hmm.
and it changes the color, but it's actually black. But that's a whole nother story, right? Uh but yeah, facts can be changed. Facts are being changed because the facts that we have been taught in school, like Christopher Columbus Day,
Yes.
that has been changed. It's not even his day anymore, even though his name is like in small print
Hmm.
on the calendar. But I think it was Indigenous Day or something.
Indigenous Peoples Day. Yes, that's what they changed.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I don't like facts, but that's what we're going to be talking about. Their facts today, right? And this is a two-parter. You may not be able to come on the second part or not, and that's cool. But facts implicates that the risks are magnified in the case of blacks, since the community matriarchal family had the effect of abandoning men, leaving them adrift, and alienating them. What's your thought on that?
One of the things I would preface this thought with is something that you said earlier. You said if a black woman is considered unfit, if she has multiple children, she's considered unfit. If
Mm-hmm.
she qualifies herself and gets these accolades, then she's also considered unfit. If
Mm-hmm.
she keeps to herself, she is abandoning black men and is considered unfit. If she
Mm-hmm.
has this carousel of men going through, she's still unfit. What can a black woman do that will not be wrong in the general context of society? Every single thing that she does, there's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
And that's true in a lot of different applications, but specifically in this arena, to accuse the black mother of be of being the source of the problems in the black community by people who are actually causing those problems is absolutely laughable.
Mm.
You take this woman who has had to make lemons out of lemonade, make lemonade out of lemons, who has had to scrape together a survival, and when she actually succeeds, now she's wrong for that.
Right.
There is really no justice in that type of baseless accusation. However, it is a real fact in many black mothers' lives that they have to confront with these things. Like, she's out there, she's trying to do her best, and the only thing that people respond to her best with is more criticism. But watch this.
Okay.
When she gets angry and when she has reached her threshold of tolerance and she lashes out and says, "You leave me alone, you sit down in your corner, you keep your mouth closed, you are not contributing to the things that I am trying to do, so I don't need you to speak to what I'm doing," she is vilified yet further.
Mm-hmm.
There continues to be nothing correct that she can do unless it is strictly walking this balancing act to please people who don't really care about her benefit.
Mm.
And a lot of black women that I know, also black mothers, they have no interest in performing as circus monkeys for
Yeah.
people to be entertained and
Right.
go their way with no consequence in what they are imposing upon her.
I can agree. I so that's not factual.
Correct.
uh, Yeah, guys, that's not factual.
Absolutely. That
That black
article,
women
that
are the
article.
reason black men are in a positional hardship today. That's not true. Granted, I can say that using myself as a poll, my early experience in relationships with my bad picker, picking toxic relationships to solidify as healthy in a falseful way. um, I can say that it created a hardship on my behalf, but again, keyword is on my behalf because I stayed. A lot of people, and this goes back and forward, not just with men dealing with women, is women dealing with men too. We are so afraid to take responsibility of the fact that we stay in a situation too long, because we think that we can fix a person. And I think not all women, but there is a high percentage of women that feel the need to, once they see that potential in that man, that regardless if he sees it or not, at some point it's gonna knock him upside his head. And so they stay, and that trauma begins to rise and cess, and it becomes something nasty, and then the confidence leaves. um I I say not in all cases, but I feel like this opens the door for to fit that category that society wants to place on black women when they find
Absolutely.
themselves um, in that situation, because at the end of the day they're looking for love.
I was just, yep, I was going to add that. Yes.
They're looking for love. And as a black man, if I'm coming to you and I'm telling you that I love you, but my actions don't match, I want to say 6 out of 10, those words are going to be more important than my actions. And I'm saying that it's not important. It's not important, but that's what happens. Those
Absolutely.
words end up being important than the actions. Oh, he said he loved me, but he ain't showing it though.
Right. That
You
goes
know,
to a deeper longing that she has. The idea that her value is attached to a relationship, but his value is attached to money and success is another dynamic that men and women are, particularly black men and women, are still in conflict about. She is willing to put up with all kinds of things from him because having him in her life gives her validation. There are
mm,
women who say a bad man is better than no man.
mm.
Now, I have no, I've never ever believed that in my life, but we're not talking about me right now. I'm trying not to get off on that tangent over there, so I'm gonna bring it back where we're talking. A lot of women do believe that a bad man is better than no man because she has been told her value is in being married. If she's not married by 16, 17, 18, 14, 15 in some places, then she's an old maid. But if he's not married by 35, 40, nobody is still looking at him like there's anything wrong. He still
Right.
has the world to conquer. He can settle down and have kids whenever he gets ready to. So that different dynamic about the value of relationships has always been a contention factor. And she is more willing to put up with his deficiencies because having him in her life means something. If he said that he loved her, then she's holding on to that because if she lets that go, then she has nothing. And a
Okay.
lot of men understand that. That's why they say, I love you, because they know that that will capture her emotions when they have no intention of following through with what I love you really means.
Right.
I remember I was having a discussion with some people regarding a similar topic as this. And one of the things that I shared was that a woman is taught what a man needs as her obligation. A man is taught what a woman needs as a means to her end.
Okay. I can see that.
When women are told what men need, that it also comes with the lesson that whatever this one want, whatever she won't do as a woman, another woman will.
Right.
So you better do whatever he says he needs, because if
Hmm.
he leaves you, you're worthless, and that's how that goes. But men want to jump off and complain and say, "Oh, women are so complicated, women are so confusing, women just don't know what they want." And every single, most of them who always say that, they tell the women, "I'm going to be there for you. I love you. I support you. I'm in your corner." They tell
Right.
her all those things that she needs to hear long enough for her to believe it. And then when they sleep with her, they get what they wanted, they stop calling, they disappear. And that's just the end of their relationship. So a lot of men completely understand what women need, and they use it to their advantage, not to her actual benefit.
Hmm.
They're not taught her needs as an obligation the same way that she's taught his. And that's another problem that men and women in general are confronted with when they deal with interactive relationships in this way.
Okay. So my second question under that question of why they're targeted,
Mhm.
off of what you just said, do you think this is the reason of this is how we got to this point? Like everything that you said, that the moms are what color women are being targeted the way that they are, um, because of how everything is set up against them.
I think that that plays a part, but one of the areas that we should probably clarify moving forward is the microcosmic society, the issues that are dealt with within the Black community, as those issues exist in a larger macrocosmic society situation.
Hmm.
Yes, we have these issues that we're dealing with within the Black community, but the Black community has specific issues that other ethnicities don't have.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that those other ethnicities don't have their own issues. And then there are also issues that every ethnicity has.
Right.
So when we're looking at some of these, it's not necessarily fair to stipulate it toward a specific ethnicity because everybody deals with it. At the same time, we do have to
Wait,
recognize that.
wait, 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 wait. See, now you're spitting. You're spitting facts, and the facts are not there just because. Uh,
Okay, I'm
because listen, what, no, 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 no. Because this darn website did not make it seem like everybody was going through this. It was just black folks and the black
no, it's
women.
not at
Because
all.
see,
My goodness. Okay, for for a little bit of a this is a stereotype. I recognize it, but I accept it, and we're going with this to make the point. Whereas Black women are stereotyped and their value being attached to a man makes them say a, a bad man is better than no man, there are white women who also believe that. And these white women are dating white men. He will cheat, he will do his dirt and come back with a 50-carat diamond bracelet, and that's it. He'll go out, he'll do his dirt, he'll come back with the matching necklace. You
some of
know,
them might not come home with nothing.
true indeed. Absolutely. Absolutely. And when we say that, yes, there are these problems in the Black community, that doesn't mean that there's the only place they exist. At large, macrocosmically, there are
Mm,
all people who are dealing with these issues. And part of the targeting, specifically to your question, is that the problems that everybody has are magnified for minority communities, but they're minimized for the majority.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
minimized
yeah,
for that other
yeah.
side, as we were talking
Uh-huh.
about
Yeah, yeah.
before.
Because I'm gonna talk about that in part two, because there is some magnifying going on, and it's
Absolutely.
ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Um, so with that, I I want to slightly shift
Okay.
because let's talk about what is a leader when we speak on black males. Before you jump into it, because
You're trying
my
to
thing
get me
is
on fire. What's happening?
because most would say the definition of a man
Mhm.
is one that provides, protects, and leads. And that's it.
Mhm. And what do they counter as the definition of a woman? Did they say anything in the article that you were reading that,
No.
that
Now that part was something that I off of that I wrote down myself because again on these apps, that's pretty much all you're hearing men spew out.
exactly?
I
Hmm.
provide and I protect, and I'm a leader.
Okay. Well, my first thought about that is a very simple definition. What is masculine? What is feminine? There are people who understand that for something to be considered masculine, that is of or pertaining to the man. Simple as that.
Hmm.
Feminine, of or pertaining to the woman. Simple as that. The problem becomes what people assign as being masculine, even if it's really not. There is a dear friend of mine who, yes, we know each other in real life, but it was through Facebook that we came to blows on this
Okay.
because he accused me of being a feminist.
Oh
And
wow.
in his presentation of feminist, I am not. And I told
Okay.
him, I'm not going to say yes to your definition because that is not what my definition is.
Right.
If you ask me, am I a feminist? And I say yes, I'm saying yes to what I actually believe, not what
Okay.
you believe.
All right.
His definition of feminist includes this man hating, vitriol laced, pro castration vigilante. And I am nothing near that if my position is women are equal citizens and should have all the rights in any country that any citizen would have. Point blank, full stop.
Mm.
So, my definition of feminism is just that women are equal human beings. Point blank, period. Under that consideration, there are also men who could be feminists, but they're not going to call themselves that if they have a problem with the verbiage, if they have a problem with the title of what that mindset really entails.
Okay.
And with that objective definition of feminism, a person who believes that a woman is actually a full person and should have the full rights of any citizen wherever they live,
All right.
that being the objective definition, it has, by societal colloquial practice, become that vitriolic manifestation that if any woman says anything derogatory about a man, then automatically she's bitter and man hating and broken and dysfunctional and she needs to be healed and all of this kind of stuff.
Hmm.
No, that is a complete imposition on what is actually being spoken of in most situations. Now, there
Right.
are some conversations where that happens. I'm not going to deny that. But
Right.
that shouldn't be the overall tone of these discussions when you're talking about having interactive relationships between men and women, especially. And where I was going with that was this: to your question of a leader, most people, by colloquial imposition, associate leadership with masculinity. They associate providing with masculinity. And if a woman is capable of doing those things, then
He's
suddenly
masculine.
she's masculine.
He's masculine.
She's not operating in her divine feminine energy.
Masculine.
This is a complete crop of bull mess on a stick
She's
for the
masculine.
new gender role language. This is her divine feminine energy, and this is his divine masculine energy. And they are contriving what it means to be masculine by how they define what is male versus
Hmm.
just the objective tactic of what that thing really is. Like nobody, whoever told Guy Fieri that he's not masculine, whoever said you're a cook, that's what women do. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. They attack women for taking roles that are perceived to be masculine.
Yeah.
But when a man moves into an area that is predominantly occupied by women, it's perfectly acceptable for some reason. Let me tell you
Oh,
what that reason is.
he barbecuing. What you talking about? he ain't. He barbecuing.
It's barbecue, not food, but that's a whole different thing. Um, Society at large has less of a problem with someone stepping down from an aggressive position to a submissive position than they do with a person in an innate submission position stepping up to lead. So
Mm-hmm.
a woman who is prescribed docility, a
Mm-hmm.
woman who is only supposed to be seen in one way, doing anything that projects her in a different light,
Mm-hmm.
is accused of being wrong. She's accused of stepping outside of her genuine role and all of this type of foolishness. Gender is not fluid. The things that define it are. And that's where people need to understand the difference. Because at certain points, you can't say to a woman, you're being masculine if you can provide for yourself. How is
Right.
provision for oneself masculine? Women need to have roofs also.
You
Women
want to
need
know
to
why they
have
say
a
that?
life also.
You don't know why they say that? Because men are not providing for themselves when it comes to cleaning their drawers, washing dishes, taking out trash in their own houses.
See,
Because if
that
we
is
do
scary.
so, we're
That is,
feminine. We're feminine.
I,
If you catch me mopping my floor in my house, my own house that nobody else lives in, I'm feminine,
and
right?
that's dangerous. That's bad because
Yeah, yeah.
your hygiene must be out the door over the moon awful if you think that providing keeping yourself clean and washing clean clothes and keeping your house clean
Mm.
is beneath you as a man.
You stink. Go wash your stinking butt.
Thank you. Absolutely.
We have
Absolutely.
a comment here. Mr. Eldridge says, I have a question. Do most black women draw to bad boy types of men? In other words, they like men that way they have to support. I don't think bad boys are men that they have to support. Bad boys can be a lot of things. I noticed that a lot. Oh, I noticed that a lot over here in the Bahamas. Um, why are women drawn to
That happens a
my
lot that happens a lot here in the States too.
y'all that happens a lot in the States because my opinion is that a lot of people thought I was kind of a bad boy because of my high school history. Uh, I was unfortunately a little violent, uh, but it was due to the fact that I was getting bullied. But that's beside the point.
Hmm.
But they mistook that as, oh, oh, he's kind of a bad boy, Eldridge. Um, Bad boys can come in different shapes and size, from people with men with money, um, like your famous drug dealers or whatnot, people on the corner and all that stuff. But they pitch that provide, protect, and leadership. And a lot of them aren't that, believe it or not.
Oh, absolutely they're not. That's part of the quote unquote attraction.
Hmm.
There is a notion that good girls like bad boys
Yeah.
because of the adventure, the thrill, the adrenaline that she gets when she wants to deal with him in other times. And the funny thing about that is that's typically best case scenario, that's typically associated with young women. When
Okay.
women get into their phases and their mindsets, when they're trying to settle down and have children and have their families, they
Hmm.
don't want that bad boy anymore. They want
Right.
somebody who's going to be stable, who's going
Right.
to be able to provide the type of life that they want.
I can see
So
that.
so the idea becomes that that thrill for her is tantamount to the sexual thrill for him.
Right.
He's doing whatever he's doing and she's doing it with him and all of that situation. Most of the times those are very, very temporary. Those are temporary highs, if you will, for what we're talking about. A an infatuation that grows up no further than lust.
Mm.
And unless both of them experience some type of emotional, intellectual growth spurt, they're not going to be able to fulfill their lives as adults, for lack of a better way of what I'm trying to say. That is
Okay.
a very that is a very childish attitude, but there are grown women grown by age who actually participate in that behavior quite regularly. And it's not just the states, it's not just black, it's not just the Bahamas, it's also
Yeah,
in the states.
yeah,
It's not just
it's
black
everywhere.
women,
Eldridge,
white women too. And I remember when I was little, there was a particular show that I used to watch when I was little. I won't name it, but the most of the characters were white.
boo, boo, name it.
Oh, it was it was 90210.
Oh man, I love that show.
Yes, it was 90210.
All
And
right,
if you remember, Jason Priestley played Brandon, Shannon Doherty played Brenda, his twin sister.
right.
Then Luke Perry, who unfortunately passed away a number of years
Yes.
ago, played the bad boy Dylan.
Uh-huh. Oh man, he was
I
Mr. Hot.
I was so young when I was watching that,
He was in love
and
with
it
him. Like,
made me nauseous
you were
that
not in love
Dylan
with
got
him?
the
Oh my
attention
god.
that he got. I personally had the world's biggest crush on Jason Priestley. Brandon was sweet. He was smart. He did his work. He got in trouble because other people were doing stuff that he got sucked into. That
Uh-huh.
was the guy that I dreamt about going on a date with. You
Really?
know, he was the one that got my attention
Hmm.
far more over than this bad boy Dylan. And some of the things that this show scripted for him to do was to try to sneak Brenda out of the country to Mexico for a weekend. And they ended up getting caught, and she lost her passport, and her parents had to come get her, and it was a whole big mess. And it's surprising that as well accepted as a notion as that is for most people, why is that a problem in black communities?
Yeah.
It happens everywhere. Every ethnicity deals with some foolishness like this.
Yeah.
And that's not fair to make it an issue exponentially for black people when everybody deals with that issue. And I'm going to say this and then I'm going to stop.
Okay. Okay.
A lot of people in America still invest themselves emotionally in what happens with the royal family. When Kate was pregnant with William's first child, she was taking a picture eating avocados. And
Mhm.
then the caption was something like, "Oh, look at her. She's nourishing her little baby with extra vitamins and minerals or whatever in avocados."
I think I know where you're gonna go here.
Uh huh. But when Meghan Markle was pregnant with Harry's baby,
Yep.
photo was taken that she was eating an avocado, and the caption was Meghan Markle strips the company of its resources or strips the country of its least bare resources.
Yep.
I why is it right for one and wrong for the other when it's the same thing? And that speaks a little bit to your question earlier about targeting,
Right.
specifically about black mothers being targeted. It's not just the mothers, it's a lot of people, a lot of minorities. But as we're talking about them, there are absolutely exaggerations of certain societal conditions that are attached and attributed to her, though everybody suffers from those same things. That is absolutely a target.
Guys, I would like to say that Harry is what you consider a leader because he left all of that behind for his wife, and he knew that she was unhappy. And I'm not saying that wasn't a hard decision. I'm pretty sure that was a hard decision, and I'm pretty sure she did not want him to make that decision, but for her safety,
Mm-hmm,
and if he knew, which I'm pretty sure he did, about his mom, he
mm-hmm.
did not want his wife to go through that same thing.
Absolutely.
So our
And
community has been bred to believe that the tougher and emotionalist men are, this creates an outstanding leader in the workplace and especially at home. Um, I want to round part one off with um, I personally believe black men refuse to see a spade as a spade. So I want to ask, can black men really say they have a true blueprint on what a bad woman is, especially a
Mm,
black single woman.
mm. That would depend on what they are gauging good and bad by. And
Mm, mm, mm,
that deals with what they've been told a bad woman is and what they've been told a good woman is. Now, if you show me, I'm going to say this, I didn't mean to, but I'm going to. If you show me a zebra and you tell me that the zebra's good for point A, B, and C, then that's what I'm going to think. So when I see a horse that doesn't have zebra qualifications,
mm.
then oh, that horse is bad because
Right.
I've been told that this is what a good woman is.
Mm-hmm.
Or vice versa. I've been told that this is what a bad woman is, and this is not what she's doing, so she must be good.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that structure of intellectual consideration of good versus bad in comparison, but where it becomes toxic is the idea of what those characteristics are. What you're told is being good, what you're told is being bad. That's where the issue really lies. Because, again, like we were saying earlier, what you're told is masculine then determines how you treat women when they're not doing anything that's actually inherently masculine. You just think it is.
Right.
And unless you're able to open that consideration and recognize why you have been told to think this way and then make better choices, your life will always be a reflection of what people tell you you should think while they have you thinking that you thought it on your own. It is
Mm.
masterfully diabolical.
Well, I, again, guys, I'm getting this information off these factual websites that tell all the truth.
You should put factual in quotes like this so people
Yeah.
don't.
My bad. Let me go back. Factual. Ugh, this it's like I want to say this only gets better. Guys, I don't have a date on part two of this podcast episode, but I can tell you that once I get in and we start, we're gonna dive into again where we're gonna pick up with can a mom be can a black mom be single in a black marriage? And I'm quotating black because again, this lovely website talks about how bad a single black mother is. And I want to go back and I want to go to the beginning. And Dr. Whitney kind of hit on like where do we get it from? Where, and like I said, with a blueprint, where did the blueprint come from that tells us that this is what a true mom is? Every family is different. What works for one set of families would not work for the other set. I definitely realize that there are people like-minded. So something that I like that goes great with the dynamics in my home may work for somebody else, but it may just be like five families, whereas the other million of families in this world, it ain't gonna work for them. It's just not gonna work. And so we can't say that there's a true definition of a man, a true definition of a woman when it comes to not sexually, the feminine and masculine, because at the end of the day, guys, we both have to have it. And for any man um, that tells you that he does not nurture, something's wrong.
Amen.
Because for a man to tell you that I am raising my son, guess what you're doing, sir? You're nurturing.
Yeah.
I end that. I end this episode with that.
Absolutely.
But part two, we're gonna pick back up with it. I'm not sure if Dr. Whitney's gonna be able to come back with me. I will give her the date when I get the date myself, and we may have some more guests on as well. I do know it's not gonna be on Wednesday though. Realizing that my Wednesdays have become kind of crazy, so I'm have to choose a different day. And if we can't have you, Doctor, it was a blast of having you here and letting us know about your crush.
Yes.
But so we're not going to end this one with our narrative change. Because if you guys know us from previous episodes, I like changing the narrative. And but this is just an icebreaker with the first episode. And I'm not going to get in trouble for y'all because I got to get my wife at 9 o'clock. So I love my wife more than I love. So with that being said, guys, we totally appreciate it, and hopefully you guys can catch us on part two.